Good evening, card community. It is RJ. It still is Sunday, so it is time for the Sunday trivia recap. Okay, I apologize for the lateness of this video, but I was out of state all weekend. Just got home about 7:30 this evening. Had to unpack and organize and whatnot. Now I'm finally sitting down to do a little video, but I want to make sure we crank this out so we can get you guys settled up, get your prizes that you're clamoring for, and get ready for next week. You know what I'm saying? So let's get to it. Monday's question. I asked, what was the last year in which every game of the World Series was played on the same field? Now, that answer would have been a no-brainer, but 4 years ago, because we all would have said the 1944 World Series when the Cardinals and Browns, both St. Louis teams, played in Sportsman's Park, which was much better than the Browns' pitiful field had been at one time. And by this time, the Browns were sharing Sportsman's Park with the Cardinals. So this is the 1980 Fleer sticker back, the Laughlin World Series back. Fleer sticker from 1980. But that would have been the answer. The actual answer is Texas's Globe Life Park. Why? Because in 2020, during the pandemic, when you had this half series, because nobody was allowed to be outdoors and nobody was allowed to be, you know, anything. It was a neutral site. I guess practically they didn't want you indoor. They didn't want everybody in an indoor confined space. But the Rays play in Tropicana Field, which is completely enclosed all the time. So they decided to hold it at a neutral site rather than to have every game inside Dodger Stadium. They went to a neutral site in Texas, where if they had to, they could close the roof. So that was the compromise. Every game of the 2020 World Series was played in Texas at Globe Life Park. So that was your answer. What you're playing for? If you recall, Monday I was showing off my Master 1974 top set. So I'm giving away five pretty cool 1974 Topps cards. One with a couple Hall of Famers and Walter Alston and Tommy Lasorda. All the other guys are, I think well-known players if you're a baseball guru like me. But anyway, that's what you're playing for. The individuals up here on the screen. Let me get rid of, I got Shaw up here twice. Can't have that. The individuals up here on the screen were kind enough to throw out a guess on this one. I do want to do a shout out. I always shout out the newbies and a channel known as Vintage Goats. I have seen his channel once or twice before, but yes, he obviously is a vintage card guy. Vintage Goats, check out his channel. He was kind enough to throw out a guess. Welcome aboard, sir. Good luck to you and to everybody else. We will shuffle once and spin. You must hit 3 times on my channel in order to win. I do that for 2 reasons. One is not a lot of people join in, so I have that opportunity. And second, because I always felt a little disheartened after one spin and done, and you're like, shucks, I lost. Well, if I make it 3 times, you get more of a chance. You feel like you got a better chance of winning, even though technically the odds are exactly the same. You feel it a little bit better. So that's what I'm doing, 3 times to win. Good luck to everybody. Oh, I got a lot of mail while I was gone. Picked up a lot of small feeder stuff off the bay to fill a couple things. So that's primarily what I am going to be showing this coming week. However, on Friday, do come back on Friday, because Friday I got probably, well, definitely the biggest purchase I ever made. It actually completes a goal of this year, getting this one particular card that I will show off on Friday. You know, stretch it out, make it build up the suspense a little. But Friday I picked up a nice nice comic card. First one I've ever spent that kind of money on, but it was necessary because it's part of a goal set that I am working on. So I'm not sad that I did it, but I had to get it done. So check back on Friday for that, but definitely come back every day, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, because I did spend a lot of money. Not a lot of money, but I spent a lot of time getting some small things off the bay. And, you know, it's amazing if you think about it. Um, Watching people like John Mangini or Rick Vintage Oddball Cards and some of the amazing things that they have in their collection. Um, and everybody, you know, to a man will say, collect what you like. You know, don't you don't need to necessarily worry about value, but we all worry about value to some degree. But there are a lot of items I'm trying to put together. Oh, Callie and Jordan squad. Hey guys, been a while since you guys won, but congrats to you. You'll be getting these five awesome 1974 Topps card coming your way. Congrats to y'all. Moving on to Wednesday. Wednesday's question. In what year was the first year that the World Series was available on television? Now, again, I made this point that television, believe it or not, the ability to send still images via wire or cable um, has been a goal of scientists since the 1800s. Believe it or not. And then once radio became a thing, the ability to send still images via wireless, they worked on. Once they got the ability to do it by sound, they figured, well, why can't we send images? And then they, in the 20s, somebody actually figured out how to send moving pictures along with sound attached to it, which is the essence what television is. But it took a long time for it to become practical and usable and affordable for somebody in a home to buy a receiver if somebody was going to generate a signal. And that didn't happen until the 1940s when very wealthy people could afford a television set in the boxes that were in their infancy at the time. So, you know, pretty well off people could afford a box. The technology did come down in price pretty quickly because by the mid 50s, practically everybody had a TV. But in 1947, enough people had a TV in their home in the New York area and surrounding suburbs that they decided to broadcast the World Series. So the answer to that question is 1947. It was the first year it was available by television. It certainly wasn't coast to coast because coast to coast TV didn't exist, but that was the first time it was broadcast by television. What you're playing for, cool card from Panini Cooperstown, the 2013 version. This is the blue crystal iced Hannes Wagner card, numbered to 499. You see that there? All right. That's what you're playing for on this one. Go to this one here. The individuals up on this screen. Boom. We're kind enough to throw out a guess. I don't believe we have any newbies. We had some returning greats, but nobody who is actually new. Callie and Jordan squad did not throw out a guess on this one. I say that because you can only win once a week on my channel, so I do not have to remove anybody. There are still 14 names on this list, so good luck to everybody. Shuffle once and spin. Here we go. So, like I said, yeah, Friday's going to be the big one, but Monday and Wednesday certainly have some great showcases of fantastic stuff. And like I said, I got a lot of really cool things that didn't cost a lot of money. I love it when I see something on the bay, buy it because you know it fits my collecting needs in some manner. Maybe it cost me $10, $20, whatever. And then I see that that particular seller um, has a store or something like that, and if I'll go and see what else they have, and lo and behold, I'll see something I didn't even know I needed. One of those kind of deals where you go in there and you think to yourself, well, gee, that's really cool too. I got to have that. And one of the things I do all the time, whenever I see something, I first make sure it's a legit collectible because I see all the time art cards left and right. Everybody's cranking out one of a kind, one by one of one art card. Now maybe I'm missing the boat. Maybe they're going to be worth thousands of dollars someday. It's just not something I'm interested in spending my money on. There's a whole bunch of art cards that I see whenever I do a Mike Schmidt search. There's one guy who makes various images of Mike Schmidt available on baseball cards, and he'll produce this is one of 50. He'll do a limited run of 50 of those cards, and they look neat, they look cool, but I'm just not going to spend my money on somebody's art card. But I will, whatever I see up there, I'll double check that it is listed on the tradingcarddatabase.com as an actual baseball release, an actual certified release of a baseball card item released to the public for sale, not somebody's one of one creation. So that's what I did with this particular guy after I saw something on that I really wanted. Bought it on the bay, went to a store and found another collection. Well, that's three for Pastor Ken, isn't it? Is it? I think it's three for Pastor Ken. No, Pastor Ken's only got two there. So no, yeah. So I like I said, quick went to the guy's store and went through everything. Most of it was things that don't fit my collecting goals. I don't just buy things because they're available. I try to buy things that fit. Are they sets? You know me. I'm a the name says it. Right, the name. I am a set collector, so I do my best to try and get um, interesting sets when I see them. And it's hard sometimes because you'll see, this guy's got a set of 10 cards and you don't know three good nerds. Where's three good? That's three for three good nerds. Gosh, this is going for a while. Uh, we almost had everybody selected, but a lot of people had two, but three good nerds was the first one to get to three. So congrats, guys. That is yours. That'll be coming your way shortly. Final one on Wednesday or Friday, excuse me. Friday, I said this. In what World Series? There have been a number of World Series where um, one team just beat the heck out of the other team. Sweeps, you know. There was a very famous World Series in 1905 because every game was a shutout. The Giants actually beat the Philadelphia Athletics 4 games to 1, but every single game was a shutout. The one win the Athletics won, they shut out the Giants. All 4 times the Giants won, they shut out the Athletics. But obviously, the Giants or the Athletics won one of those games, and in that game, they scored a certain number of runs. But there was another World Series later after that where the losing team scored an abysmally few amount of runs. And I said, what World Series was that? The year that the losing team scored the fewest ever runs in a combined number of games. Anywhere from 4 to 9 technically could have been because there were 3 years from 1919, 20, and 21. They actually played best of 9 in those years. I think they did it in 1903 as well, but don't quote me on that. Anyway, so what was the year that the losing team scored the fewest amount of runs? And the answer to that is 1966. The Dodgers just beat up on, or no, I'm thinking the Orioles. The Orioles beat up on the Dodgers. Got to make sure I get that right. Somebody from the Baltimore's going to kill me on that one. The Orioles shut out the Dodgers 4 straight, and the Dodgers. I might have it backwards. It was either I'm sorry. I'm gonna look. Let's look it up real quick. It was either the Dodgers beating the Orioles or the Orioles beating the Dodgers. And in the one game, in the one game that the losing team won, it was they only scored 2 runs. Baltimore, yeah, Baltimore over Los Angeles, yeah. So the Baltimore Orioles shut out the Dodgers 4 straight. They didn't shut them out. They swept them. But in the one game the Dodgers did score some runs in, they only scored 2. So here we go. Look at real quick the breakdown. The first game 5-2, and then the next 3 games 6-0, and then 1-0, 1-0 games back to back to win it. So that is the lowest scoring World Series ever by a losing team. I don't want to swear that a total of 13 runs by the winning team and 2 by the losing team was the fewest run total ever. That wasn't what my question was. But 2 for the losing team is the worst performance ever by a World Series competitor. So that was the answer. What you're playing for, really cool rookie card of a cool Philadelphia Phillies ace this year, Christopher Sanchez. This is his 2022 Prism rookie card. Very nice, shiny card there for you. But Christopher Sanchez is having a phenomenal season this year. So that's what you're playing for on this one. Let me get this out of the way so you can see all the people on this list here. Again, I don't think we had any newbies on this one. Shout out again to Vintage Ghost. But yeah, everybody up here on the screen, likewise, was kind enough to throw out a guess. So did Callie and Jordan squad come back on this one? Doesn't matter if they did or didn't. They're out. And who just won? That's right, 3 Good Nerds. You guys just won the last one. Did you make it onto Fridays? Nope, you didn't make it onto Friday. So we don't have to take anybody off on this one, but we will shuffle once and spin. Good luck to everybody on our final try. So yeah, I got a lot of cool little sets this past week. Also, though, I also picked up a couple Mike Schmidt cards for my collection, and a couple ones I've been trying to put together these weird upper deck pairings or card sets or parallel versions or whatnot, and they're hard to come by. So whenever I do see them, I go all out to get it, and I was able to pick up a couple more of those Mike Schmidt cards for the Upper Deck sets. Upper Deck put out in the 2000s. You know, Upper Deck made some of the most beautiful cards, I think. Put up some of the most beautiful sets I've ever seen. I really am a big fan of the Upper Deck cards from the 2000s. Late 90s were good, but then they got into the 2000s and things just got really. The designers went above and beyond. A lot of cool parallels, not numbered cards. Is that 3 for Tommy? Is it 3 for Tommy? No, it's still just 2 for Tommy. So one of those, that's something I'll be. There's 3 for Tommy. Okay, so now it is 3 for Tommy. All right, so Tommy Markwell, congrats to you, sir. You'll be getting this awesome Christopher Sanchez rookie card from the Phillies. So, yeah, I hope you all enjoyed that. Like I said, please consider liking, subscribing, commenting if you did. I really do appreciate your support as I try my best to support everybody else in this great card community. Like I said, if you like what you saw, come back again this coming week, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. I always release videos, and I do a trivia question, and we do the answers on Sunday. Do come back on Friday, because again, I got some big cards to show off on Friday that complete one of this year's 3 goals I had. So looking forward to sharing that with the card community. All right. Thanks everybody for watching. Come back again tomorrow. Take care.